somatic dancing and ecstatic dancing. And when I started healing, I honestly did not think that this was gonna actually be part of the healing. To be honest, I always been a music lover, but not so much a dancing lover. But then suddenly, after almost a decade, unable to move and unable to move freely, unable to anything really, it was so liberating and it was so amazing to be able to do it, even though I crashed later on and I have to rest for the rest of the day, and it leaves me like incredibly tired. But then something shift, no, the fact that it also is in nature and grounding, and it helped me ground as well. So that's when I started investigating all this and how the power of dancing is healing, and how liberating it can actually be to move your body freely, not giving a fuck about anything at all, not giving a fuck about anyone, and just, yeah, just do that basically. So yeah, the term somatics has become a bit of a buzzword in the well-being industry lately, but only because it's becoming increasingly clear that somatic practices can play a very important role in actually helping you feel more connected with yourself and change your physical, mental, and emotional reactions to past or present life experiences. So that might become stuck in your body. And it's true. It's very, very much true. Because, many of everything I felt with this disease that took so bloody long to heal, and I'm still not there. That's why I need to write down stuff because, my memory is still not fully there, and almost, but not fully. Yeah. Um, but it's crazy. It's crazy that when you start moving and you don't care about the movement, you are not paying attention to it, but plainly, mainly expressing yourself along listening to the music that is, that you can listen to. It's just something magical happens there. And there are no words to explain it because, most of my videos dancing, probably not many people are going to get. Like, what the hell? And since people do not understand that people that are in this process usually have bouts of energy that allow you to move suddenly, but then you crash and you can possibly spend a week in bed. Um, they're really hard to understand. So, but yeah, not, complaining about it. I'm almost fully there and I'm really happy about it. So yeah. And I've been thinking a lot about doing this, and probably I'm going to start making some sort of course for people that that can actually benefit from it, doing it really slow at the start. And yeah, so I'm going to do a series of videos in Spanish and English where somatic dancing is involved, and also singing. So yeah, the term somatic means of a relating to the living body, and soma is in a Greek word meaning the body as perceived from within. So when we do somatic movement, the aim is to pull out of your focus and awareness into the movement that you are doing so that you can feel the sensations within your body alongside the response of your nervous system. Somatic movement can be, and often is, used to help retrain habitual patterns of holding and muscle tension and so on. So somatic movement is practiced very slowly. The slower we move, the more we can feel what is happening. Our nervous system, which controls our muscle tension, movement, and posture, also processes and learns things very slowly. So moving slowly allows new neural pathways and feedback loops to be created. It isn't about the quantity of movements or what it looks like and it feels safe to do. So practicing with your eyes closed is a great way to enhance that internal focus. So this is great for people that are still not able to do other ways of dancing where you go wilder, let's say, and have very little movement abilities to start with. So I mean, somatic movement can also be practiced in a more intuitive way, which is where somatic dance comes in. If you ever been to any somatic yoga classes, you might have been invited to move in any way you would like, usually from tabletop position, following on from some cat and cow movements, whatever. This is a great time to explore moving in a somatic way because there are so many different ways to move from tabletop and explore different areas of your body, allowing yourself to fully witness how your body is moving in this movement and giving you the opportunity to respond as needed. A basic reflection could be and what feels nice and what doesn't. So, many times with these diseases, we actually forget that we have a body. We forget that our body is able to move, mainly because we spend far too many years unable to do so. So when we actually finally do, we don't understand movement, and it's like we're stuck in this freeze situation where we move like, like robots even, and that's many times the case where many emotions are also stuck in these muscles, are also stuck inside of us. So we have to let it go, we have to let them out. So during these sessions, we start with inner resourcing practices to ensure you have a sense of safety and support to return to, along with somatic movement, moving through a familiar shapes, exploring throughout repetition, and starting to build on that. You will then be invited to move intuitively, seeing how the music feels within and where it takes you. As I continue to, provide suggestions and support without getting into your own space, right? So yeah, throughout this process, you're learning to create a deeper connection to your inner experience and to the wisdom of your body, which is incredibly important to heal. You need to believe that your own body is capable of healing itself, it's capable of moving itself, it's capable of working again. Again, the body is not working against you, it's just telling you the story, it's telling you that something's wrong. And while it might take a long time to heal all this is another way of reminding yourself and your own body that you're capable of auto healing, you're capable of moving, and so on. So, yeah, throughout freestyle movement, it can lead us to feeling whole, to developing more trust in ourselves, and to feeling free and expansive, rather than tight, tense, and restricted, which we've been far too long. Like, right? Consider how a creative, playful child would move and dance without feeling self-conscious, without self doubt or worry. As adults, we might have a lot of layers, self limiting beliefs, and self doubt to wade throughout, but we can take it very slowly and we can find joy and self expression in movement. So, somatic dance can also be described as conscious dance and embodied dance, as the focus is the dance, staying present and conscious to your sensation. It's also really helpful to ground yourself and to kind of be aware of your body. Sick people that have all these chronic diseases also, we run away from feeling how we actually feel, let's say, because we've been in pain for so long that we kind of disconnect from our bodies and from the environment. So this is a great way to ground yourself and to connect yourself with your body again. So somatic dance can also be described as conscious dance, embodied dance, as the focus is the same, staying present. So yeah, that's also really, really helpful. During a somatic dance session, there might be specific focus, like exploring sensations of resistance, inviting in a feeling of joy, and sensing how that might show up for you. This is something else that, many times we forget. Like, we forget joy. We do not understand what joy feels anymore. And this is really important because that happened to me. I was even feeling guilty for feeling some little bits of joy that I could finally feel when I entered this phase of healing, which is the almost there but not situation. And then whenever I would feel kind of good, first of all, people do not understand that you feel or you seem normal, but you're still not fully there, which is very frustrating. Therefore, you kind of feel guilty for feeling joy. And I mean, after a decade of suffering, are we kidding? I mean, so yeah, this is a great way as well. There are different ways it can be explored, and it comes down to creative self-expression and moving your body to connect with and process emotions, to expand nervous or anxious energy, to encourage more energy and soul back into the body, to acknowledge the resistance, to acknowledge the joy, and to be playful. And I don't know why we have built a society that makes us feel guilty for feeling these kind of things, which is weird, right? But it happens. There are different ways it can be, done. But yeah, another important fact about all this is about the safety. When you feel safe in your environment, when you actually do feel safe with your surroundings in nature or with the people that is around you, things do come out a lot easier. So, but the point is, whether your surroundings are helping that or not, you should be able to reconnect with yourself and your body anyway. But obviously, with people with these kind of nervous systems, and that we go through all this, apart from the chemical side of things and everything, we do need this kind of people and this kind of support around us. So ecstatic dance is a free movement and a type of dance which is often practiced without a fixed choreography. Letting yourself be carried away to the rhythm of the music is what basically is. So for this, in an ecstatic dance session, you move freely, you know, like to a state of trance, ecstasy, which can take you deep a meditative state, fully enjoying the present moment. This is really helpful when, I mean, I find that I get this easily with psytrance, which I love, or psychedelic music. This kind of repetitive rhythm, this kind of repetitive, you know, brings me to that state. And I believe this is the reason why, there is so many people into psytrance parties, barefoot dancing in nature. This is something that we can find other ways to do, but shamans in the forest or in the Amazonian, and this is nothing new. Humanity has done this, and tribes are still doing this, and it's a really amazing way to connect and to reconnect. So, do you remember what is it like to dance when you were a child, free, without restrictions? You simply moved your body as you wanted, flowing in every second, completely releasing control and surrendering to the moment and the music. So this is what we need to do. Do you actually remember what it is like to be a child and just be free and dance and not give a fuck about anything else? That's the point, no? For some reason, and many, automatic beliefs that society puts into us, and that we build ourselves in, especially when we've been through all these diseases where the body felt like a burden more than helping you. So it's very, very useful. So yeah, and your whole body can be radiating joy and not feel guilty about it, which is a big one as well. So, however, with the passing age, we become more prudent to do something like this. Not to say that if in our adolescence and youth you moved your hips as you wanted, there were seconds left for you to probably have a stranger next to you thinking that you moved them for him or her, whatever, instead of for you, and felt judged. Um, yeah, for instance, when I post a dancing video, there's always some comment of some weird guy saying whatever thing. That's what we need to forget about. And so I put it as well as some sort of treatment, let's say, because this is not the bloody point, but we've been judged in that way, especially women, and what the fuck, dance anyway. So so the ecstatic dance meetings are essentially free dance parties, often without shoes, without drugs or alcohol, and there are all the things that can be used, which I do not consider drugs. I consider medicine. Therefore, the only rule is to allow your body to move exactly as it wants. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing more. So, yeah, if we stop to think about the last time we had a good dance, it was impossible to dance in this free way because one of the following circumstances always happen, no? Squeezes, inquisitive looks, uh, you know, sense of ridicule, effects of alcohol, whatever, So we have this remembering of these kind of states where we dance for the last time, and this kind of affect us, and it puts barriers into all this. So, so yeah, I'm planning on doing a series of this kind of dance, but with other music, not in the traditional way that people actually does it, and especially designed for chronic ill patients with Lyme disease, with MS, whatever. So in different levels, we can achieve this, and we can regain control of our bodies and trust in our bodies and the environments around us, and actually to find environments around us that help us maintain and get out of these chronically ill states. And yeah, and also a very special part in which people that are, especially after decades sick or this kind of thing, able to navigate the very difficult part that is not hell anymore, but you're not there. So you're not able to live your life fully, but you've been sick for 10 years. And this, I mean, for your brain and your body is a lot to deal with when you're starting to plan a new life. But yet you need to maintain certain things and support and people and places probably to do so. So yeah, what are the benefits of practicing ecstatic dance? Although dancing as a mean of liberation is not new phenomenon, there is a tendency towards this activity since it's a way to satisfy the growing need for physical expression in a time of isolation driven by technology. During the dance, we disconnect from the brain waves that are active in our daily activities and connect to a deeper state. Similar to the trance of the theta brain waves, the brain waves are normally only present in sleep or deep meditation states, but they are also activated during ecstatic dance. Theta brain waves are also known to improve creativity, intuition, memory, and learning. In addition, ecstatic dance is increasingly used today also in a therapeutic environment. It can help you release emotions by giving you love and attention throughout dancing. It has even been shown to have a regular practice of ecstatic dance, is successful in the treatment of anxiety and depression. So, yeah, again, it sounds so silly. It seems so silly, but there is a reason why human beings have been dancing and chanting and singing um, with community. So, I hope I can do some sort of, practice where I can invite at least, 10 people in Spanish and English here, and we can dance and have a session in person. But meanwhile, because this is, the best thing that can possibly happen, we need human connection once again. But since we are in the age of technology, and this is a way to, approach it from your home, especially if you are too sick to go outside. And yeah, so I'm gonna start next week, and I hope that you enjoy the videos and that you can actually follow them, and it help you, so because it's been incredibly helpful for me. And yeah, also there is a kind of people like myself that are crap at meditating. I'm one of those, but I do meditate in different ways. Moving is is one, creating is another one. I'm not the person that can sit still and just kind of meditate like that. I meditate when I create art, I meditate when I sing, I meditate when I move. And it's just as useful, you know. You do not need to meditate in the sense that we think about Buddha and stuff, There are other ways you can meditate, doing anything, any random thing, really. But for these kind of people that understand it this way, this is perfect because you're going to combine the movement along with this trance state that brings you to this. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And I'm going to prepare all this, so be ready and I hope you enjoy. Thank you. I'll see you next time.